The neutral spine is going to be a position of your back that you're going to try and carry with yourself all the time while squatting and deadlifting. This really doesn't apply to bench. So squatting and deadlifting, this also means it applies to all of the assistance and related movements to anything that is a squat or a deadlift. What a neutral spine means is the upper part of your back, around where your traps and behind your shoulder blades, that's your thoracic spine, that's your upper back. Generally, we don't see a lot of problems there with lifters. As you move down the back and you get to your low back, it starts to curve in like this, and then come back out towards your butt. That low back is the lumbar spine, and that's where we see a lot of problems in lifters, and I myself have had a lot of injuries there, and fortunately, but unfortunately, has caused me to learn a lot about it, how to mitigate it, and how to work around it. So what the neutral spine means is you understand that you have this natural curve to your spine, where your upper back, it's going to curve like this, and then your middle back, and then your lumbar is going to curve in and then come back out. We need to maintain that neutral position as much as we can during any squat or deadlift type movement. That means we don't want rounding of the low back, and we also don't want overextension or hyperextension of the low back. Now, arching in the bench press, again, does not apply to the neutral spine here. That's a whole different story. But anytime we're squatting or deadlifting, it's crucial to maintain that neutral spine. So in any of the videos where I'm referring to a neutral spine, that's what I mean. Keeping that normal curvature to your back, not allowing any rounding or any hyperextension backwards. Keeping this neutral spine is vital to maintaining your back health. The way that your vertebrae and discs sit, they're strongest, most supported, and most resilient to injury if you can maintain that neutral spine, which is going to be very heavily related to breathing and bracing, which you'll see in another movement principles video. Sitting all day can be very bad for your neutral spine because when you sit in a normal chair, your tailbone tucks under, and it's going to take that normal curvature out of your low back, and it's going to put a slight round into it. So if you have a job or something where you sit all day, I strongly encourage you to get up at least once an hour and just take a small walk. It doesn't need to be as long as 10 minutes, but just getting up and moving. At the same time, if you're standing all day, you don't want to stand for more than hours at a time, and it's good to change that position up and sit. There's no best or ideal position that you can sit in or be in all day. The best thing you can do is keep that position moving throughout the day. Another way that the neutral spine is taught is relating your pelvic floor and your rib cage to being either in an open or closed scissor position. So if you drew a line from my rib cage out and my pelvis floor down, this is called an open scissor, and this is called a closed scissor. An open scissor is going to be when you are arching too much, and a closed scissor is going to be when you're rounding too much. So if you imagine the lines coming out of my rib cage and pelvis, open scissor, extended, closed scissor, rounded. The neutral spine maintains that natural, normal curvature to your back, which would be this on me.